she slapped the out of me, like for real. And you get a moment where I go, woo! And I stayed in it.
Woo! So loud. And I thought, oh my God, I really smacked him like hard.
According to rumors, producers almost had to shoot the scenes they were in together separately. That's how much they didn't get along on set. Now the rumor is that it's because of Nia.
Taraji, she's an amazing actress. Good. There's no beef with that.
And I'm just supposed to smile and grin and bear it and just keep like, enough is enough.
Welcome back to StarHush, where the tea is always steaming and the drama unmatched. So, did Nia Long really try to get Taraji P Henson booted off Empire? Because what's coming out now sounds straight out of a messy script. Word on the boulevard is that Nia wasn't just swinging by the Empire set to guest star. Nah, she had her eyes locked on Cookie Lion's throne. Yep, she allegedly wanted to snatch the main role right out from under Taraji, and y'all know Cookie is Taraji's role through and through. Now imagine this, one queen already running the show, and another one sneaking in trying to steal the crown. The tension got so real behind the scenes, Taraji was ready to go off. And no, that ain't an exaggeration. Sources say it almost turned physical. Another cast member had to step in just to keep things from popping off backstage. This wasn't your average diva moment either. Folks on set say Nia was acting like she already ran the place, throwing shade, side-eyeing Taraji's every move, and low-key stirring the pot hoping Taraji would trip. But baby, Taraji stood tall and let it be known. Cookie Lion ain't up for grabs. The energy was straight chaos, all over what? Jealousy. And the craziest part? Taraji eventually spilled all the tea herself.
Cookie, I'm running a little behind, darling.
That's all good. You just need to tell whoever that is they got it found.
I'm sorry, tell me what?
Tell you that you got to get out of that chair because it's time for my appointment.
Oh, well, we'll be done shortly.
Oh.
Give me 1 second, please, madam. I'm sorry, Cookie.
The claws were out on the set of Empire, and let me tell you, it wasn't just Cookie Lion bringing the heat. Word is, Taraji P Henson and Nia Long were going at it so bad that producers had to pull out emergency plans just to keep the cameras rolling. No joke, they had to start filming their scenes separately just to avoid a full-on meltdown behind the scenes. The tension, thick enough to cut with a knife. Every time these two queens crossed paths on set, the energy shifted instantly. Cold shoulders, sharp stares, and not a single friendly word exchanged. Nia had a recurring role in season 3, playing one of Lucius Lyon's exes, and while that already had Cookie giving side-eye on screen, the real smoke was happening off camera. See, it turns out the drama wasn't scripted at all. According to insiders, the beef between Nia and Taraji was 100% real. Folks on set said you could feel it in the air. It was almost impossible to film their scenes without something popping off, and things didn't stop with attitude. No ma'am. Word on the curb is that Nia was doing more than just acting shady. She was out here allegedly plotting to get Taraji fired. Yes, you read that right, fired. Sources say Nia was pushing behind the scenes to reshape the storyline, trying to make her character more central and basically edge out Cookie Lion entirely. Like what? We're talking about Cookie, the heart of Empire. How are you gonna replace the queen of prime time with a side character? That was never gonna fly. But Nia? She was allegedly putting in the work, sneaking in suggestions to producers, trying to rework the plot so her character would take over in season 4. Baby Cookie was not about to let that happen. When Taraji found out what Nia was pulling, she was done playing nice. It turned real tense, real fast. Now let's talk receipts, because one of their biggest blowups had the whole set talking. Nia reportedly rolled up late to set one day, and Taraji, being all about respect and punctuality, called her out on it. And how'd she do it? She asked Nia straight up, "You good? You on your cycle or something?" Whew, that comment right there lit the spark. Nia was not having it. She went off like full rage mode. Folks say it wasn't just about that one comment either. It was all the jealousy and pettiness she had been holding in, finally boiling over. From that moment on, it was official. Taraji and Nia couldn't even pretend to vibe. The entire vibe on set flipped, and production had to do some serious damage control just to keep the show moving.
Why are you so mad? Are you on your period?
Things got so intense, they were this close, and I mean inches away, from an all-out brawl. It was about to be hands thrown, and it took nearly the entire cast and crew jumping in to cool things down before the whole set turned into a full-blown scene from the show. That's how bad it got between Taraji and Nia. And let's be real, if it had gone down, most of the crew probably would have just grabbed a seat and watched Taraji handle business, because behind the scenes, folks were over it. The word floating around is that Nia wasn't exactly anyone's favorite on set. The vibe she brought? Real cold. Her energy had people walking on eggshells, and let's just say, the patience was running real thin. But it wasn't just the cast side-eyeing her. The glam team, the hair and makeup pros, had it even worse. They were out here catching the heat daily, and not the kind from the curling irons. According to whispers, Nia came through with diva energy, snapping on the beauty team like they were the problem, and left more than a few folks ready to clock out permanently.
Who's pulling kitty now, bitch? Touch me, team. Okay.
It went way beyond just bad vibes because, get this, news outlets reported that the hair and makeup team actually filed a formal complaint against Nia Long for her behavior on set. And here's the kicker. In the entire history of Empire, that was the only official complaint ever filed, ever. That right there says everything. Sources spilled to TMZ that Nia had a pattern of being straight up disrespectful behind the scenes. We're talking about showing up late without warning, snapping at the crew, and switching up at the last second like she was running her own show. And when it came to glam time, she wasn't just being picky, she was going off. Instead of collaborating like a professional when she didn't like a hairstyle or makeup look, insiders say she would just go straight into cut them down mode, talking wild to stylists like they were beneath her. And it wasn't a one-time slip-up, it was constant.
Nia Long knows her light. Nia Long knows her makeup. Nia Long knows her hair. And you probably can't talk me into something else unless you show me.
One insider didn't hold back and said it loud. They've had everybody on that set, from top charting rappers to Hollywood royalty like Demi Moore, and not a single one of them ever caused the kind of chaos Nia Long did. Let that sink in. We're talking about guest stars with massive followings, legendary names, even celebrities known for their own diva moments, and still, none of them matched the drama Nia brought with her. According to that insider, Nia had the crew on edge every single day, while everyone else came in, did their job, and showed respect.
It looks like I'm about to run a Boston on your boys.
Man, that sound good. Put some money where your mouth is. Let's start with a stack.
Well, you know I like big spenders. Why don't we throw your whole catalog on the table?
My catalog? Nephew, what my catalog got to do with this table right now?
But if you thought the mess was over, think again. The level of pettiness that Nia allegedly left behind on that set, unmatched. See, when a cast member finishes filming their final scene on a show, there's a tradition, a kind gesture from the team. The assistant director usually calls out, "That's a wrap for actor's name," and the crew claps it up. It's a moment of appreciation, a little respect, but when Nia wrapped her last scene on Empire, total silence. That's right, no shout out, no round of applause, no final send-off. It was like she disappeared into thin air. And get this, the assistant director just so happened to be too busy to do the honors. Word is, Terrence Howard had a sudden allergic reaction at that exact same time, and the AD went searching for Benadryl instead of acknowledging Nia's exit. Now, if that ain't the slickest don't let the door hit you moment in TV history, I don't know what is. Sources even say the whole thing was low-key planned. The director and crew were so fed up with the energy Nia brought to set, they were ready to wrap her without the fanfare. And you know Nia wasn't about to go out quiet. She allegedly got so heated that she threatened legal action over the snub. Like seriously? A lawsuit because nobody clapped when you left? That's a new level of entitlement. People close to the production said they were just over it. Nia had been clashing with everyone, bringing tension, stirring up conflict, and trying to shift the spotlight in her direction. And when it didn't go her way, she didn't take it well. No reflection, no gratitude, just attitude.
Quit playing.
Who's playing?
But let's keep it all the way real. Nia never truly secured that game-changing lead role. Sure, she was in a few classic films that we all love, But when it came to holding down a major show or delivering that career-defining performance, it just never happened like that for her. Meanwhile, Taraji wasn't just rising, she was skyrocketing. So picture this. Nia's been in the game for decades, grinding, showing up in fan-favorite roles, but never quite reaching that next level. Then here comes Taraji, snatching the spotlight, locking down leading lady status, and getting all the recognition Nia probably thought was hers for the taking. And the cherry on top? Taraji lands Empire, not just a hit, but a full-blown cultural movement.
The women that I was in constant competition with, mostly it was me and Jada. It was like, oh, do you want the brown-skinned spicy girl or do you want the light-skinned spicy girl? Which one do you want?
Now let's get into Nia Long's history of calling out Hollywood whenever she doesn't book a role. Because one thing about Ms. Nia, if she don't land the gig, she's gonna talk about it. A perfect example? Avatar. Yes, that Avatar. Nia once questioned why she wasn't even considered for Zoe Saldana's role in the blockbuster franchise. She tried to play it cool, saying she wasn't throwing shade, but her words had folks raising eyebrows. She said, "I felt passed over on things for sure. There have definitely been moments like, why wasn't I considered for that? Like, why wasn't I considered for Avatar? I think Zoe's amazing, but I wasn't even a topic of discussion." Now let's be for real. What about Nia's acting resume made her think Avatar was ever in her lane? Zoe has a whole history of action, sci-fi, and physically demanding roles. From Guardians of the Galaxy to Star Trek, she's been doing stunts, flying spaceships, and saving galaxies for years. Meanwhile, Nia's been the queen of romantic comedies and soulful dramas. Totally different lanes. It's like she expects to be in every major project, and when she's not, it suddenly becomes a topic of, why wasn't I even in the conversation? And this isn't new behavior. Nia once said she wanted to do another romantic comedy with Eddie Murphy after starring in You People. Like, girl, let the casting directors call you. You don't need to keep forcing yourself into convos just because you're watching other actresses get their shine. The energy's starting to look more like envy than ambition, and fans can sense it. But if you thought the comparison game ended there, hold on, it gets deeper. Let's not forget, Nia and Terrence Howard have worked together way before Empire ever hit the screen. Remember the Best Man franchise? They had solid chemistry back then, and they even reunited in Life in a Year. So Nia probably thought she had that work spouse title locked down. Then came Taraji. Out the gate, her on-screen connection with Terrence Howard as Cookie and Lucius Lyon was electric. It was undeniable. They weren't just acting, they owned those characters. Fans were obsessed, and their chemistry became the heartbeat of Empire. So imagine Nia watching all that play out from the sidelines. She once had that dynamic, but now Taraji's in the spotlight, and it's Cookie everyone's talking about. It had to sting. All that attention, the fan love, the awards buzz, it wasn't going to Nia, it was going to Taraji. And to make it worse, Taraji didn't just slide into the lead role, she took over the show. So is it really that surprising Nia might have felt some type of way? The energy on set was reportedly tense, and looking back at the timing, it kind of makes sense why she was acting out. And if you think it's just Taraji who had issues with Nia, think again. She's got a track record. Even director Malcolm D. Lee, who's worked with Nia on several films, had something to say. When asked during an interview on The Breakfast Club who was most difficult on set, guess who he named? Nia can be a bit of a challenge, he admitted. And when a director publicly says you're hard to work with, that's not a good look at all. But wait, it doesn't stop there. Taye Diggs also shared a wild story from The Best Man. In one scene, Nia was supposed to slap him. A staged, safe slap, right? But Taye said she didn't hold back. She went all in. According to him, she smacked him so hard it completely caught him off guard, and he swears she did it on purpose. Now, actors are professionals, and scenes like that are usually choreographed, but Taye was convinced that Nia added extra force, and he wasn't expecting it.
And Nia can be a bit of a challenge as well.
Well, yeah, she was a challenge up here a little bit.
She was, yeah.
Nia didn't want us to record her or nothing at first.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know...
Thank you. And what the is that smell?
Woo! You know, you got some nerve blaming me for your skeletons, miss.
Really, she slapped the out of me, like for real. And you get a moment where I go, woo!
She really smacked him. Like, not some little tap for the cameras, but a full-on, straight-to-the-face moment that caught everybody off guard. Taye Diggs even said it himself. She slapped the mess out of him, and it wasn't acting. He said there was a moment where he had to pause and ask himself, wait, was that in the script, or is she just mad for real? And listen, if that was done on purpose, that's not just breaking character, that's breaking code. Actors are supposed to trust each other on set, and when you cross that line, it's not just unprofessional, it's dangerous. But here's where things really start to look like a pattern. If you thought Nia Long's problems only existed with one or two folks, think again. Let's not forget her long-running tension with Jada Pinkett Smith. That's right, Nia and Jada have both been in the game for decades, but they've never exactly seen eye to eye. In fact, their beef goes all the way back to the 90s. And to this day, that vibe between them, still icy. So now we're looking at drama with Taraji, with Taye Diggs, with the director Malcolm D. Lee, and now Jada. That's not a coincidence anymore. It's giving consistent chaos, and you already know what the streets are saying. Every time Nia is in the same room with another powerful black woman, something goes left. Whether it's shade, sabotage, or just straight up tension, drama always seems to follow. And let's not act like Taraji was the one bringing the smoke either. If anything, she kept it professional until Nia pushed her to the edge. And what really makes Nia's behavior look even worse is the fact that Taraji has always been one of the loudest voices for equality in Hollywood. She's been out here speaking on how unfair the industry treats black women, how we get underpaid, overlooked, and overworked. Taraji even broke it down in interviews, talking about how male actors get million-dollar checks, while women, especially black women, have to fight just to get a seat at the table. She's used her platform to speak for the culture. And guess who once agreed with her and actually spoke up in her defense? Nia Long. Yep, Nia once backed Taraji when she spoke out about pay inequality and the struggles of being a black woman in Hollywood. So to turn around and allegedly try to take her spot on Empire, try to sabotage her behind the scenes, that's not just shady, it's hypocritical.
I mean, when I think of the men that I've worked opposite of, I had to make people believe that gangster rapper Ice Cube was a father figure.
So for Nia Long to turn around and pull this kind of move on another black woman, it's giving straight up snake energy. And best believe, we're calling it out loud and clear. Because this ain't just some petty on-set drama or diva moment. This is a deeper issue that hits a nerve for a lot of people, especially when you look at what Taraji P. Henson has been through to even get where she is today. See, Taraji wasn't just upset because Nia was being rude or shady behind the scenes. Nah, it was bigger than that. Her frustration came from a place of pain, from years of being overlooked, underpaid, and underestimated by the very system she gave her all to. This is a woman who had to hustle 10 times harder just to get half the credit. A woman who's been open about how hard it is for black actresses to get roles, to get respect, to get anything without having to fight for it. So imagine that after pushing through all that, finally getting her shine with Empire and putting Cookie Lion on the map, another sister from the same industry comes through trying to snatch it all away. Not out of talent or good storytelling, but allegedly out of jealousy and ego. Yeah, that's not just disrespectful, it's heartbreaking. And the wild part, Nia should have known better. She's not new to this. She knows how brutal the industry can be to women of color. So for her to play into that same game, to try and push another black woman out the frame just to take her spot, that's exactly what Taraji's been speaking out against all these shocked anymore. Because this kind of behavior seems to follow Nia Long everywhere she goes. The latest situation? A whole new round of drama, this time involving none other than Sherri Shepherd. Yep, word on the street is they had a behind-the-scenes confrontation that had everybody whispering. Allegedly, Nia felt like Sherri was throwing shade at her, and she didn't take it lightly. Sources say Nia confronted Sherri straight up, accusing her of being messy and disrespectful. But here's the kicker. Folks who were around said Sherri wasn't even coming for her like that. It was all in Nia's head, according to insiders. And instead of brushing it off, she decided to stir the pot again.
Somebody grabbed my arms and they forcefully turned me around. And she says to me, she goes, "You've been shading me a lot." And I said to her, I said, no, I haven't, because I was really confused. And then she goes, "Yes, you have." And then she just walked off.
Now look, if one person calls you difficult on set, hey, it could be a fluke. Miscommunication happens. Two people? Okay, maybe some tension popped off. That's still possible. But when directors, actors, producers, hairstylists, and crew members are all saying the same thing about you, baby, that ain't a coincidence anymore. That's a pattern, and the common denominator is Nia Long. Everywhere she shows up, the vibe gets heavy. The cast starts whispering, and someone's always walking on eggshells. And the thing is, it's not just about petty attitudes or diva behavior anymore. It's about how many folks have come forward with receipts, stories, and their own first-hand experiences. From Taraji to Taye Diggs to the Empire crew, it's been one situation after the next. At some point, people can't help but ask, are they all lying? Or is Nia really out here acting up behind the scenes? And here's the wildest part. Through all the rumors, all the drama, and all the whispers, Nia hasn't said a single word. No statement, no denial, no interview to clear the air, nothing. She's just out here letting the chaos build while acting like nothing ever happened. Not even a quick "y'all got it twisted" to try and check the narrative. Sis is letting it marinate, and not in a good way. Because when you stay quiet this long, folks start thinking that silence is low-key confirmation. And sure, she could have just spoken up when that situation with Taraji hit the blogs, or when Sherry Shepherd allegedly had to check her. But nope, radio silence again. Now people are starting to wonder, is Nia Long really misunderstood? Or is this the side of her Hollywood's been keeping quiet about for too long? Could Taraji just be the latest woman brave enough to say it out loud? Or is she just one more name on a long list of folks tired of the same old behind-the-scenes energy? Whatever the case may be, it's getting harder and harder to ignore. And if Nia really believes she's being painted wrong, why stay quiet and let the industry define the narrative for her? Now, my stars and hushers, you already know I need to hear from you. Do you think Nia's just catching unfair heat, or has she been the problem all along? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you're still riding with the T, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. I'll catch you in the next one, because trust me, the drama, it ain't slowing down anytime soon.